Hey everyone, I'm Jay, and in this video, I'm going to take a look at the game Wordle. So, probably most of you have heard of or played Wordle before. It's a game where you have to guess a five-letter word, and it's some argument over which words you should try first to get the best possible outcomes. You want something that has the most popular letters in it, and you want to try and get all the vowels or whatever it is. But I got a list of all the words, and I'm going to have Python run through all the words and check out which letters are the most popular letters, and then we're going to build uh, yet another work program. All right, this is the first one that I've done and made a video of, but I'm sure if you search around, you can find tons and tons of videos of people trying to figure out what is the best first word to try on Wordle. I'm going to give you the best two words, best two-word combo, uh, and I'm also going to give you a third word just in case you want some more letters after you've done the first two words, because after all, the first two words are 10 letters and they are pretty good, but no guarantee that you're going to get all five letters out of that 10 letter choice. So I do have a third option for you as well. So, so I have the list here. There's 2,315 words on the list. All right. Um, it's fairly easy to get this list, right? It's accurate. No need to worry about that. Everybody has the list. All right. So first thing I'm doing is I'm just creating a list of the letters in the alphabet for display purposes. All right. So we can ignore this part, this first part. Next, I'm going to read the list of words that I have and put each word into this list. Data here, so I have all the words right there. Okay. Then stole this code from my buddy Brad's video, which I'll link in the description, where I'm going to find the first I'm going to create a placeholder. Right, this one's already filled out because I'm in debug mode. And I'm going to count the frequency of each letter in the first position, the second position, the third position, the fourth position, and the fifth position. This is an array or a list. List starts at 0, so 0 through 4 is position 1 through 5, and it's going to count how many A's are in the first spot, how many B's are in the first spot, how many C's are in the first spot, and so on, all the way through all the letters in all five spots. Okay, so it's going to count the frequency, and that's really going to tell me the popularity of every letter and where that letter is. All right, I think it's definitely important to know where the letter is, whether it's in the first spot, second spot, and so on. Um, a lot of people want to get the letter, which is great, but it's you get the letter and it's not in the right place. That is helpful, but it's not as helpful if you get the letter in exactly the right place. So that's my goal with this program, is to get the most popular letter spaces, right? Get some words that have that. So with this right here, we'll get the frequency of each letter in each space. So for some quick testing, as soon as I've done that, I'm going to total those and just get a quick list, which you can see here at the bottom of my screen right here. This is the overall popularity of every letter. And you'll see, much to my chagrin, that the least popular letter in all of Wordle is J, my name. So I thought that was pretty funny when I saw that. Right, there's only 27 J's in all of the answers in Wordle, so don't bother guessing J. There's only 27 of them, and 20 of those are the first letter. So I've just solved that one for you. All right. So I found the frequency of every letter in each spot, the overall frequency of all the letters, and with the overall frequency, um, So what this does is just totals the previous frequencies. Okay, this is going to count each one, like we said. This is going to total those for each letter across the slots. Get that overall frequency. Next, I've used the overall frequency and gone through each of the 26 letters and organize them. All right, so this is a little bit convoluted here, and that's because I wanted to sort a list of items without touching the original. Okay, so I wrote a little bit convoluted. I'm looping through 26 twice, and then I'm testing to see if my frequency value is greater than the previous one, trying to find the greatest one, right? And go through all of that. Wait a minute here. All right, okay. So find the most popular letter overall through all the frequencies. And that's good. We can find the most popular letters and we can create our own words. E-A-R-O-T, the 5 most popular letters. All right. If you want to swap out the O and use Earth, that's 4 of the top 5 popular letters. And then we swapped in H, which is over here about 13 or 14th or so. So Earth is pretty good. However, I want to do something a little bit better. I want to find the top 5 letters in each position. Right? So I want to find the top letter in the first position, the top 5 letters in the first position, the top 5 letters in the second position. Right? And so what I've done here is I'm looping through for each of the slots, okay, and then I'm looping through all of the letters in the frequency range, as well as all of the letters in my placeholder that I have created. Right, my placeholder is top characters, so I have 5 slots of top characters, and I'm looping through those, and in each one of those slots I'm creating 26 blanks, and then I'm going to loop through the 26 blanks and then loop through each of the 26 letters in my frequency chart. And I'm going to test the frequency of them, get the order of the frequency, see if it's a higher frequency than the letter before it, but also less than whatever the previous letter that I've already accepted. I have a less than or equal to, but then I'm going to come down immediately right here and double check that I don't skip a letter, because there actually are a couple of letters that have the same frequency as each other. In my initial run through, I had some blanks at the end because whenever the program saw 2 letters that had the same frequency value, it would skip the second one because it was equal to in value to the first one that it showed up. So we'll just skip the second one. So in one of the slots, H and I are very similar. They have the same frequency. So we'll get H alphabetically. H comes first. And then when I got to I, it was the same value. And we'll skip it. So I do have to double check for things that have the same value. There's H and I. In any case, I'm getting the letters in order for each spot. And here it is right here. That's a little bit ugly to read, right? So as soon as I've gotten this, all right, and I will, well, I'll leave this up for a moment. You can pause the video, right? As soon as I've gotten this, I have all my print statements down here. So first I'm going to print all the popular letters in order, which we can see. Then I'm going to print all my frequencies, which you can see right here. These are all the frequencies and the total frequency, right? So A comes up 141 times in the first slot, 304 times in the second slot, 307 times in the third slot, 163 times in the fourth slot, 64 times in the fifth slot, for a total of 979 times the letter A appears in all of the words in the answer list in Wordle, right? So this goes on through the chart. So I have each slot and then I have the totals. So the totals are nice to get the most popular letters overall, but in each slot, I organized that, found out which one was the best. So letter S with 366 is the top letter for slot 1. A is the top letter for slot 2 and 3. E is the top letter for slot 4 and 5. Okay, so S-A-A-E-E is not a word, but I scroll down here, I printed out the number 1 letters in slots 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 1 letters in slots. Number 2 letters in slots 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 3 letters. Okay, so if we look at the top 5 letters in each slot, something that kind of immediately jumped out to me is I know that S is a pretty common first letter, first word. I'm not too worried about guessing that. That's going to be an easy guess if it is the case. So I'm going to skip that. But something that jumped out to me is I can get this third one, B-R-I-N-Y. That's a word, briny. Okay. And then if I have these ones, then C-O-A come up here, S-T, briny coast gives me not the first most popular letter, except for that third A right there, because the very first one is S-A-A-E-E, right? Not that great. But number 2 and number 3, almost across the board, I can use briny and coast to get the 2 most popular words, okay, which will give me, based on each letter individually in its position, okay? So briny, B is the 3rd most popular starting letter. R, the 3rd most popular second letter. I, the 2nd most popular third letter. N is the 2nd most popular 4th letter. And Y is the 2nd most popular 5th letter. Right? And then coast, we've got a 2nd, a 1st, and 2/3. Okay? So those are the best 2 starting words. Right? They don't have any duplicated letters, and they are in their position best in slot, or 2nd or 3rd best in slot, because the actual best in slot is not very helpful, because we can probably guess S-A-E, right? So I also promised you a 3rd letter to use, so we can see that the letters we missed an E, very common, you want to get the E, right? In the top 5, we missed E, we missed P, U, and L. E, P, U, L. And then if I drop down a little bit, one of the reasons I wanted to print this list here is if I get briny and E-P-U-L, the next letter on the list is D. So between E-P-U-L and D, there's a word that has those letters, D-U-P-L-E, duple, which actually means a pair of things. And I've given you the top 2 words, which is a pair of things. And if that pair doesn't work, the 3rd word, duple, a pair in itself, will help you out with some missing letters. And between those, there are 3 words, no duplicated letters, all right? All the vowels, all the important consonants that you're going to need, and do them in order of popularity. And not only will you get very good letters, but you will get those letters in their most common position from the 1st spot to the 5th spot. All right, so hopefully that helps someone. Hopefully that helps you remember briny coast. And I will put I'll put this code somewhere so that you can see the code and run it for yourself. You're going to have to get the word list on your own though, because if I post the word list, it'll be too easy to guess tomorrow's word. All right, that's it for me. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.